just don't know why I haven't read it. Don't know. I had this book on a pre-order. I'm on a mission to read all. And this video is just a massive haul of all of the books that I've got currently in my house on my physical TBR. However, you will not see 40 something of them, I've forgotten the number now, because they are on very high shelves and I can't bother to get them down. So we're just going to talk through the ones that I do have. Massive book haul. The 200 plus books I've got on my physical TBR. Right, where do I put these? Here. Oops. Stay. Oh, I forgot about them. Oh well. Disclaimer, there are 33, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 41, 2, 3, 44 books that are not in this pile that I just can't be bothered to get down. They are high up and I'm lazy. So we're gonna look at these ones instead. This is what my current bookcase looks like inside my kitchen. My one in my dressing room is actually much worse. Let's not talk about it, but I will be refilling this one, I think, with all the books that I haven't read, so it saved me having to bring them up and downstairs because I had to rope Samuel into helping me bring them down, and I know I'm already not looking forward to taking them back up. So this is the current book pile situation. We've got some on the floor down here, and some at the back over here, and around this way. These are my 200 plus books on my physical TBR. Yes, I think I had a book buying problem over the last few years. Something's wrong with me, and I'm on a mission to read all of these books in the next few years. Okay, so I'm going to do Romantasy, romance, and then dark romance. So starting with Romantasy, we have the entire Crescent City series. Right, let me just, I'm currently using them as a, they go on, stand maybe? So, because of the thickest books. So I've got this book, and I've also got this big bad boy hardback. So yes, they don't match, but I'm not bothered about that. So I have the Crescent City series, which I am definitely going to be reading before the first ACOTAR in a long, long time comes out, and BTW, it comes out the day after I get married, so bye bye Sam, hello reading time. Up next we've got Alchemized by Sen Lin Yu. I am so looking forward to this because of how much I loved Manacled, one of my god tier books that I read such a long time ago now. I've been putting this off for a while because of how much I love Manacled. Up next is the Kindred's Curse saga, and I did get them all signed by Penco at Rare London, and I am yet to read this series, but now that I know that book 4 is definitely coming out soon, these have jumped right up my list on my TBR. Right, up next, let's have a look. Oh, I don't know if me bending over was in that. I hope not. Right, up next we have this proof copy that I got, and this is The East Wind by Alexandria Warwick, and this is, if I remember correctly, I don't want to make I don't want to say if I don't know. It's either Beauty and the Beast retelling or Rapunzel. I can't remember. Anyways, I've got this book. I've also got the West Wind and the North Wind books somewhere in these piles of books. Up next is Iron Embers by Helen Scheurer, and I've had this book on my Kindle for donkeys, and I finally got this book in one of my book subscription boxes. So we've got this one. This is another book subscription box, and I love the sprayed edges on this. And the character art. And this hardcover, black, lovely. I know a lot of people don't like the nickname Kitten. I like it. The front says Run and Hide Kitten. And this is a Butterfly Book Club exclusive. And I've heard that this is Enemies to Lovers. And here we have the front cover. So we've got this book. Up next is another hardback. I got this so long ago. And this is Tales of a Monstrous Heart by Jennifer Delaney. And again, I know nothing about this. I think this might be Romantasy YA though. Don't quote me on it. I also got this in a book box, and this is it's not really an omnibus because there are two in there. There are two books in one. So on this side we've got Speak of the Demon, and on this side we've got Dance with the Demon, both by Stacia Stark, an author that I really love. So I don't know why I haven't gotten around to reading these, but I love the art on these books. And again, another book on my TBR. Another book that has lovely sprayed edges is The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson, and I think this is a Romantasy YA. Again, don't quote me on it, I know nothing about this book. Other than it looked pretty and I liked the blurb on the back. Up next is The Stars Are Dying by Chloe Peñaranda, and I got this book off Vinted. And it's basically because I saw Chloe at Rare London and I didn't get a chance to buy any of her books then, so I bought this one. Up next is the Shepherd King duology, and these books are One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. I've read nothing from Rachel Gillig and I really need to because these books are super hyped. I haven't read a lot of Emily McIntyre, but this book is Hexed, and I got this when I was going through the series. So, but I was going through the series on Kindle Unlimited, and I got this book in the half-price Waterstones sale a couple of years ago maybe. And this is very hyped by my friend Maya on BookTok, and she loves it, so, whoops. I have the third book of these series. What series is this called? The Apprentice to the Villain series. I'm not sure. And I have the third book on my Kindle and I have not read it. This one is a really nice shiny cover and this one is a matte cover. I prefer shiny. Up next is a crime. I am scared to read this series, so I have not started it, but I have every book in this series ready to finish it. And this is the Plated Prisoner series, and I've just brought down with me the first book, Guild, because why bring the rest of the series down when it's just going to make me go and hurt my arms even more. So yeah, we've got that. Everyone talks about that book, everyone loves Slade. I think I'll love Slade, and I'm looking forward to starting it. Next we have Broken Souls and Bones by L.J. Andrews. I love L.J. Andrews' writing, but I haven't gotten around to reading this book because I'm reading her first series. I'm making my way through it. Can I just jump into this book? I'm not too sure. This was kindly gifted to me, so I am very much looking forward to that. I was really surprised by that. Like, I'm not somebody who gets book mail or promoted for things. So next up is Melissa K. Rorich's other series. This is The Lady of Darkness. I've got all of the books for this series that are out. I don't know if it's a completed series or not. No idea. But I have it, and I haven't finished the other series, which is why I've not read this series yet. So that's on the list along with the other books. Next up is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Why I haven't read this book yet is because I am scared. I am scared of how sad I know it's going to be. I've watched the reaction videos where people cry reading this book, and if I'm not in the mood to cry, I will not be in the mood to read this book, but it's on the list. I just know the idea of somebody who has to go through many lifetimes losing people is definitely going to be sad. Okay, some more hardbacks, another sad book. We've got The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow, and my friend Olivia talked about this book a while ago, and I only got it in the last year, I think. And again, I am scared to read this book because I know it's one of those they will love each other in every lifetime kind of book, and that book always makes me sad. And it says here, their story crosses history and transcends time, but can its ending ever be rewritten? Am I going to crumple? Up next is a book that I got at Rare London, and I got it signed, and this is Till Death by Miranda Lynn. I haven't read it. I was recommended it by a girl on Instagram called Kylie, Buried in Pages, and she says it will be my cup of tea, so I bought it. Up next is another book that I got signed in London, and this is A Fire in the Sky by Sophie Jordan, and I know this has dragons in, so dragons are extinct, witches are out. I love witches. Witches are outcast, but magic lives. Dragons, witches, my cup of tea. I had this book on a pre-order from Waterstones last year, and I've still not read it, and I know people talk about it so much and how much they love Bartholomew, and I know from the character art that I'm constantly liking and resharing that I know I'm gonna like it. I just don't know why I haven't read it. I don't know. But it's on the TBR list. Up next is a book that I got in America from Target, and this is The Wolf and the Woodsman, purely based off the front cover, sprayed edges. I was in Target for a long time, and this like kind of floppiness to a hardback I've never seen before. This is like paperback floppy, but in a hardback. And Ava Reid is a phenomenal author, so I thought I might enjoy this, so I'm gonna pick it up. And this book is about, let's have a look, inspired by Hungarian and Jewish mythology, following a young pagan woman with hidden powers and a one-eyed captain of the woodsmen as they form an unlikely alliance to thwart a tyrant. Well, I was thinking maybe because it's called The Wolf and the Woodsman that he was maybe some sort of wolf shifter, but if he's not, I'm going to be disappointed. Up next is The Fallen Stars, which is the second book in the Heavenly Body series. I've got the first book on, sorry, not the first book, I've got the third book on pre-order for the end of this year, and this is also signed. There is something wrong with me because I haven't finished the Gods and Monsters series. I have the rest of the books in this series, and don't ask me why, but the Wrath of the Fallen is in a hardback and I don't care about it because I am not interested in having books all look the same size. I'm not bothered. But I haven't finished the series. They are very, very chunky books and that kind of puts me off. But I know I'm going to love it. And I loved Diana in book 1 and obviously Sam Keel. So why haven't I read it? I don't know. I haven't finished this series, but these are some more books to add to the growing piles. Up next is a book that I got from Sugar and Spice in Nashville, and this is Threaded by Tay Rose, and this really drew me in. In a world where magic means servitude, being giftless is a blessing. Mariah's 21st birthday was supposed to bring freedom from expectation, from scrutiny, from the oppressive lord reigning over her hometown. When a summons from the Queen puts those dreams at risk, she has no choice but to follow through, even if it means a future she doesn't want or deserve. That was just like, yeah, I'm going to buy this book and see what it's about. Sometimes I'll buy a book based on what the people are saying on Goodreads or on Fable, and sometimes it's just purely based on what it says on the back. Like this one here, The Magnificence of Death. And I know this book is going to be so poetically heartbreaking because it says, to live is a choice, to die is a promise. Death doesn't take kindly to thieves, especially immortal ones. I don't know, it's going to have something to do with, obviously, death, because it's in the title. And that scares me. So, this book, I've seen a lot of people talk about how she trades her husband's soul for her daughter's life, and this then changes the balance, and death comes to collect, and instead of claiming her, death offers her a deal. She can break the curse and reclaim her mortality, or keep running until the world forgets her entirely. So, this is another book for the TBR list. Oh my god. I like the look of these ones because I have read book one, I listened to it, and I read it on Kindle Unlimited, and I got the rest of these books before they were traditionally published, and this is the Savage Land series, and I've got book 2, 3, 4 and 5. Are they in the right order? Yes, they are. And they look quite short. Yeah, we're talking like 400 pages each, so that's like going to be pretty good going, I think, getting through these books. This is kind of like urban romantasy, where you've got some urban themes that run throughout, like a fae world, and it's like set in Hungary. And in the first book there is a massive plot twist at the end, and there is betrayal, and I was so looking forward to getting on to book 2, but then I found out they were getting taken off Kindle Unlimited, so I missed that chance, and I had to end up buying these off Vintage, which I'm not sad about. Okay, next is another hardback, and this is my most recent Very Loot book box, and this is Half City by Kate Golden, and look at the sprayed edges on those. I think that this is like Buffy the Vampire Slayer vibes, so up next we're getting kind of like spooky-ish. We've got Anathema by Carrie Lake. I love Carrie Lake and her gothic vibe, and the vibe of this book is definitely gothic. I was supposed to read this in October, November time, but I just never got around to doing it. And I know that people are saying that Eldritch is really good, and she's got the 3rd book coming out in this series, and I am really looking forward to getting into this one. So everyone talks about this book. This is a post-apocalyptic romantasy, and this is Bones by K.L. Spear, and book 2 is called Fangs, which I don't have. So the main character Bones here was born with the miraculous power to heal, but all her gift has brought is death. As a child, her older brother trained to survive, and so survive she did. The blood on her hands will never wash off. She's broken and scarred in more ways than one, but she survived. And I've got a lot of mutual friends who say that when they read this, they could not put it down. So I immediately added it to my Christmas wish list and I got it, so very lucky. Up next is another vintage find, and these are meant to be super spicy Romantasy books, and these are the Court of Ravens books 1 and 2, a dark fantasy romance. And I think he's a raven shifter. I don't know why I've not read this. I really do not know why I've not read this. This is the Kissed by the Gods, the Eternal War series by Katie Rogan, and as soon as this came out, people really hyped this book up, and deserve the hype it might. I've not read it, so I can't comment on that. And it got traditionally published pretty much straight after people started reading it, so that means it must be good. Right, continuing with the Romantasy books. I just know for a fact these are all just going to stay out until tomorrow, so I'm not going to bother to put them away. But we've got the Devil's Waltz by Jessie Elliott, I was sent that. The Servant of the Earth, Shards of Magic series by Sarah Hawley, and I know book 2 is out at the minute. We've got Empire of Flame and Thorns by Marion Blackwood. This is traditionally published and everyone literally raves and doesn't shut up about Draven. So I know I've got a potential new book boyfriend from this. This one is Blood So Deadly Divine by J.M. Grossvalet, and I think this is a vampire book. Is it vampires? Doesn't say. Dedication's really sad. Okay, it's a dark romantasy. Phrases in Irish. Oh. Okay. We've got The Secrets of Jane Forgotten by Charlotte Mallory, book 1. The Improper Bastard series. We've got Mercenaries, Warlords. Deadly Legend captures her. It's called Soren. Dark fantasy romance with foul language, sensual scenes, and improper bastards. Up next, I need to finish the City of Souls. No, wait a minute, what's this series called again? Oh yeah, a House of Devil series. I have not finished this series. I've got one of the books on my Audible TBR that I bought, and I've got the rest of these books in paperback. I've got the rest of this trilogy to finish, and this is the Shadow Queen and War Queen Crowns book series, and I'm still going with the Romantasy. We've got Wings So Wicked by Emily Blackwood, and we have A Wolf and Huntress. So I can tell when I bought this, I must have been in my wolf shifter romance era. Next up, we've got This Vicious Dream by Stacia Stark. Again, another Stacia Stark book. And this book is linked to a previous series that she's written, and I think it might be the Court So Lovely book. I know it somewhere. I remember thinking that was that, and I can't remember right now. Up next, we've got this series and the interconnected separate series by Greenwich and Lennox, and pretty much a couple of months after people started really picking these up on BookTok, they have become traditionally published, and these are the indie copies. The trad published books are just as pretty, if not prettier. They come in like this really nice emerald green and gold colours. But yeah, we've got books that if you are a fan of Sarah J Maas, Carissa Broadbent, Rebecca Yarros, then apparently we are going to love these books, because this is top tier romantasy, I've heard. Right, don't fall over. Next one. Oh, you know when you start doing a video like this and you actually can't bother to finish it? That's me right now. Anyways, I've got this series to finish. I do not have book 4 because before I was able to get book 4, the whole series went trad published again. So I didn't continue with the series until I knew when book 4 was coming out. It's already out, so I'm going to continue with this series. And this is For Your Throne of Glass girlies. We have A Promise So Bold and Broken and A Bond So Fierce and Fragile, part of the compelling Fate saga by Sophia Saint-Germain. And book 1 is good, and then apparently it's meant to get even better, especially by book 4. Addictive stuff, I've heard. King of Ravens is up next. If you haven't already read any of Claire Sager's books, I strongly suggest you read A Kiss of Iron, because now that book was addictive, and the audiobook was even better, so I'm very much looking forward to this Fairy Loot version of King of Ravens. Up next is Darkness Births the Stars by Sarah Lee Wan. I got this book ages ago and I still haven't read it, even though I know that this book has gods in it, so like some sort of like celestial magic. We've got forbidden love, we've got 2 like goddess and god here on the front cover that are kind of both morally grey, I think. He might be morally black from what I remember. It's inspired by Nordic mythology. Star-crossed lovers, their fall from grace, a quest for redemption. It is tension-filled, high stakes, there's lots of battles, and it's the perfect read for fans of the Book of Azrael, When the Moon Hatched, and Guild. Up next is Where Darkness Bloomed by K.D. Stark, and this is a Hades and Persephone retelling, I think. It's a tale of gods, mortals and fate, and it says Persephone, goddess of spring, was meant to remain untouched by shadow. Hidden by her mother in an attempt to outwit the fates, she has been raised far from Olympus and world of men. And when a chance encounter, when a chance encounter with Hades, the formidable ruler of the underworld, binds their path, she is thrust into a realm of power, peril and desire. In his kingdom of shadowed beauty, she must decide if she is captive or queen. I love a Hades and Persephone retelling. There is just something about that story. Since I taught about the gods and goddesses when I was in year 4, I have loved reading about them. I just find it so interesting. I think it would be quite nice if it was real to have gods of different things. I don't know, I really quite like that idea. Okay, up next was 2 book mail books that I got, and this is The Serpent and the Wolf and The Wicked and the Damned by Rebecca Robinson. I can't tell you anything about these books, literally nothing, other than it says on the back it is a perfect, thrilling romantasy, steamy debut, the star of a duology, perfect for fans of Sarah J Maas and Jennifer L. Armentrout. And I've read both Sarah J Maas and JLA, so maybe these books are for me. I will let you know. I'm looking forward to starting them. Okay, have we done those ones? Yes, we have. For these books, they're just the way I've piled them up. So we've got some more hardbacks. This was a pre-order, A Dark Forgetting by Kristen Cicerelli. I loved the Rebel Witch and Heartless Hunter, and I just thought Dark Romantasy by Kristen, I'm gonna have to get it just to see what it's about. So it says, "Sing us a song of the forest, of the wood king who rules there and the tithe he demands. A tale comprised of deep emotion, sizzling romance and a gripping mystery." Sometimes it's like big authors, when they read the book and seeing their quotes, that draws me in as well. So this one here was by Tricia Levenseller, and she too, I think, was at Rare. And she has commented that you must read this book. So the next one is a book off TikTok Shop, and this is Bestsellers by Courtney L. Wynn. I've seen a few people talk about this book and they said it was pretty addictive. So Nizara, our FMC, must team up with Dagon, an enemy who is a half ghost and all charm, to survive a tournament. So we have some trials in there. Interesting. Up next is another book I got ages ago. I think I got this for my 30th birthday in October. My Dark Beast by Olivia Wildenstein, and this I know is a Beauty and the Beast meets Hades and Persephone retelling. So I love Beauty and the Beast, one of my favourite Disney tales. My favourite's probably Ariel. So The Little Mermaid's probably my favourite. Second favourite, Beauty and the Beast, because I love Belle. So Hades and Persephone, like I've just said, one of my favourites, and Beauty and the Beast, of course I was going to buy it. Up next we've got Avalon Tower by C.N. Crawford and Alex Rivers, and I got this too at Rare. So I know that this is about a Fae Academy and people say it's a really fun time. Up next is Wings of Ink by Angelina J. Steffert, and this was one of my very first Romantasy buys, and I bought this pretty soon after reading ACOTAR. So I read ACOTAR was my first Romantasy book, and I started just randomly seeing recommendations for Romantasy books on Amazon, and this just came up, and I thought, like, based on the reviews and the little quotations that come up when you look at different books, that's what really drew me in about this book. It's supposed to be seductive, thrilling. The FMC is stuck in a prison and she's a pirate, and it was meant to be for fans of A Court of Thorns and Roses when I read it. So I follow Sonia Odette on Instagram, and she's written here, "The slow burn romance was everything I wanted in an enemies to lovers fantasy." So we've got this book, and you'll be pleased to know I've only got one big pile of Romantasy books left to show you before we move on to romance and dark romance. Right, you'll be pleased, this is my very last part of the haul for Romantasy. So, up first we've got Hollow Heathens, the Book of Blackwell by Nicole Fiorina. And people have said that this book was pretty average, like it wasn't giving 5 stars. So I think that's probably why I've been putting it off longer than normal. I've seen some of the bigger influencers in the BookTok world and the bookish world giving this around about 3 stars. I mean, that sometimes influences my decision to pick a book up or not. It sometimes doesn't, it depends. This was supposed to be like dark academia, with like dark creatures and something to do with like haunting love stories. I don't know, that's just what's next. So we've got Your Knife, My Heart, and this lovely sprayed edge paperback from Waterstones, and this is a dark military romance. Why is this in my pile? Does it have any Romantasy elements? Can someone tell me if this has Romantasy elements? I don't know. Up next, we've got Leave Me Behind by Kaya Moronova. I got this signed at Rare. My post-it note's still in there. Oops. From last year. And I still haven't read it. I think it's in the same world. Dark military romance. The only good riot soldier is a dead one. I don't know. don't shoot me, but I have the Ever King and the Ever Queen books, and I haven't read them. But that's because I know that the characters in this overlap with the other series that I'm reading by L.J. Andrews, and I kind of wanted to finish that series first. Not that it matters, because it's a totally different generation of characters, but they link through the bloodlines and the mums and dads and stuff. I've already showed you that I'm still reading this series, but this is the hardback. Up next is the book I need to finish in the Legacy series. I still have not read this book. I have the fourth and final book on audio. I don't have a physical copy of that book, but I know the spoilers. I have seen too many because obviously I follow Melissa K. Rich on all of her social medias. I've seen the character art and I know that there are spoilers with Tessa and Theon and Luca. And I'm not sure how I feel about those spoilers because I am not a particular fan of the trope, but I'm going to continue it because I love it so far, so we shall see if I get converted. Up next is a book I got recently, and this is The Second Death of Locke. I say recently, I got this for Christmas. That's not that recent. She is a female knight. We love females in a male role. Blood and Betrayals, Book 1 by Jeanette Rose and Alexis Rune. Again, I got this signed at Rare. I haven't read it. And lastly, for my Romantasy book haul, is Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. And I love her Prince of Sins, is that what it's called? Prince of Sins series. I've got the Throne of Secrets and the other one upstairs. I haven't got the most recent one, but I also haven't read this series by her either, so I actually got this book second hand from the website called World of Books, where you can get books for super cheap, and they are second hand but in great condition. So here I am with my massive pile of, don't fall, books of the Romantasy genre, romantic fantasy, which my auntie can't stand. She really tries hard to get me to read lit fic or historical fiction, and I said I read that when I was in school. I read that, God, during lockdown when I got back into reading. I don't want that anymore. I am looking for a good time, and a good time I have in these books. I know I probably have a good time in those books as well, like the Thousand Suns books, but it's sad. It's sad. I need to escape, and escape I shall in these books. Stay tuned for part 2 where I'm looking at my romance books. Right, I need to get cracking before the sun goes down and I'm left with no light, so. Okay, so up next is romance books. This is a Christmas book. We have Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. I think I read 7 pages or something because the main character is called Harriet like me, but I did not finish it. Yep. Next one is another B.K. Borison book, and this is And Now Back to You. This is book 2 in this little cute romance series, and we have a weather girl meets a weather boy, and they work for the, is it the same station? Rivals to Lovers. Apparently people like this book speaks to them, so I'm looking forward to this. So we've got a really good cover as well. Down there. This book, Just Friends by Hayley Pham. I don't know about this book. The front cover gives Emily Henry, but a lot of people were not impressed with this book. So I don't know. If Not for My Baby by Kate Golden, who has also written some of my romance books that I've got here. And I have A Dawn of Onyx and A Promise of Peridot upstairs on my physical TBR, and I haven't been bothered to bring them down. This is a rockstar romance, and apparently Julie Soto loves it, and I love Julie Soto. Done that. The other B.K. Morrison book that I've got is A First Time Caller, and this book was also a special edition in my Wordy and Wild subscription box. And again, this is another cute, heartwarming romance, swoon-worthy, and people loved this book. Is it a rom-com? I don't know. Next up is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata, and people love Mariana Zapata, and especially from The Carve with Love and All Roads Lead Here, which I haven't read, but I picked this up because of the blurb. For 2 years, the man known as the Wall of Winnipeg couldn't find it in him to tell her good morning or congratulate her on her birthday. Now he's asking for the unthinkable. What do you say to the man who is used to getting everything he wants? I don't know why I was doing this with my fingers. Like, I can read without having to use my fingers. But a sports romance, and I like the look of it. I need to read more Emily Henry, and on my book list for Emily Henry was Book Lovers. We've got Rivals the Lovers, plot twists, and 2 people who work in the writing industry, I think. I don't know. I have the other Stephanie Archer series to read. This is Queen's Cove. I've got all of the books to read on my physical TBR, but I'm just showing you this one. This was another book that I got in a subscription box, and this was like an autumn fall book that I never got around to reading, and this was If It Makes You Happy. I mean, look at that wholesome cover. If that does not give autumn fall, then you're blind. Then you don't know what you're talking about. Up next, we've got some cowboys. One of the main reasons why I really wanted to go to Nashville, however, I did not see very many cowboys. Apparently I need to go to Texas for that. We have Training the Heart by Paisley Hope. Which book is this one? This is book 2. I've only read book 1 in this series, but I loved book 1, I remember. Next. Stupid thing. This is supposed to be a reliable light. Next up is this series, the Runaway Ranch series by Ava Hunter. I have not finished this series, so I have these books on my physical TBR to finish. I did get this one, signed at Rare. She was very sweet. She had her kid there as well, and her husband. Very nice lady. I've got this series by Grace Riley. Another sports romance, very easy reads apparently. I don't know anything about them other than they are sports romance. And are different sports for each one, I think. I don't know, but we've got those ones. I've got this full series to read. I've read book 1. I've got 3 and 4 here, but I know book 2 is in that pile somewhere. I've read book 1, I haven't read 2, 3 or 4. And that is like a Formula 1 series. Very easy to read. Up next is a Candy Steiner book series, and this is a sports romance series, particularly hockey romance. And this is the book that I've got that I have not read yet. And he is tattooed with dark hair. I mean, tattooed isn't normally my type in real life, but in a book, I like it. We've got the rest of this series by Becca Mack. I read book 1. I did not like book 1. I actually really did not like book 1. I thought it was super cringe. The dialogue was terrible. But apparently it gets better. So I've got the rest of this series. I haven't picked up the rest of these books because they are somewhere. But we have this one to finish. I've got Body Check by Elle Kennedy. I don't know anything about this one. I think I got this book for £2 at Aldi. Next up is another £2 book from Aldi, and I got this book and the other book that is somewhere by Tessa Bailey. This is Dream Girl Drama. Just little cute romances. This was from Target in America, 40 book, and this was also a Candy Steiner sports romance series. I got this book from Rare and it was signed, and I just really liked her character art on her stall, so I went with this book because she recommended it. Oh, here's the other Becca Mac book that I've got. This lady here was also at Rare, and again she recommended this as her best selling book in her hockey romance book series, so I went with this one. I met this lovely lady at Rare as well, and she recommended this book, and she did a lovely quote on the inside that said, "You are the best thing that's ever been mine, Connor Bailey." So I'm guessing he is the MMC, and they are both in university at Drayton Hills, and I'm guessing he's a football player, American football player. So that is another book on my TBR. Really a quick run through. It's not like an in-depth what all these books are about because they're on my TBR for a reason. I don't know much about them. Up next is the Northern Stars series, and this is another sports romance series. Ooh, breaking up with your high school sweetheart was one thing, but breaking up with Hollywood's favourite actor, that was a whole different situation. Also, maybe it isn't sports romance. Right. Okay, this is the Compass series. Northern Stars, I don't know why, I guess that was some sort of sports team. Oh. Right, you can go there. I have this book, Ride With Me, a F1 sports romance book. I don't know. We've got the, oh, that's book 2 in the Lauren Asher series I was telling you about. I haven't read anything by Abby Jimenez, but I've got this book, So You'll Remember Me. I have got Just for Summer as well somewhere, and A Part of Your World is somewhere as well. I don't know where though, but I definitely have those books, and again, I need to read them. I loved Mia Sheridan as soon as I read Archer's Voice, and I had to pick up some more books by her. And we've got Falling for Gage. And what other books are in this? She's also got Travis, Stinger, Grayson's Vow, Finding Eden, Becoming Colder, and Kyland. She is a must-read author for me. We've got Ashley Poston's The 7-Year Slip Special Edition. That is some people's all-time favourite book. I got this book for £5.50, Riding the High by Paisley Hope. This must be book 3 in this series. I must have gotten this book because I did like book 1. Holding the Rain, yes, this is book 3. Whoops. We've got this very little thin book, Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage, cowboy romance. I haven't read the final book in this series, Wildcard, the Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver. I just wasn't looking forward to it because people have said it's kind of boring in places, but we'll see at some point. Dust Storm, the Griffith Brothers, another cowboy romance series by Maggie Gates. I've got the entire series by Elsie Silver left to read for the kind of spin-off, the Gold Rush Ranch series. That's another of Stephanie Archer's books that I have. I don't know where I picked that up. This was my special edition from Rare, and this is by Jessica Peterson. Book 1 was made like it didn't really give anything a cowboy romance book hasn't already given, but I did get this book because out of all 3, if I had enough money I would have bought all 3, but out of all 3 that she had, this was my favourite and was signed. So this is Wyatt's book in the Lucky River Ranch series. I'm not rushing to read this, it's just more like aesthetically pleasing to look at. Okay, so we've got my first Carly Fortune book. I have bought the other on my Kindle because I need to read it. This is getting made into a TV show, and this was just so pretty in America. The floppiness, the pink, the fact that it is very summer. Just drew me in. Put you there. Up next is this whole series. Oh no, I did read book 1. This is Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. This is a chunky book for a romance book. How many pages is this? There is no need for a romance book to be over 600 pages. What are they writing on over 600 pages in a romance book? This was a Christmas gift. This is Fight, because look at those sprayed edges, by Sloane St. James in that Sky Ridge Hotshot series. I have not read any Jessa Hastings since she became a little bit problematic on social media, but we do have The Conditions of Will. This was a hardback I got a while ago, and I have not gotten around to reading it. It's on my physical TBR, so I thought I would show you, but whether or not I actually read it ever is unbeknownst to me. Up next was a recommendation from a friend who got the recommendation from Tierney Reads, a very big book influencer, and this is a billionaire romance book called Taming Mr. Walker by Rosa Lucas, and he is a tech guy, tech bro, and she is his best friend's little sister. We have this book. Oh, I got this book. This was a free book from Rare. The lady, the author, was there. This is Think Outside the Boss in New York Billionaires book. Like, that's nice and short. That's going to be an easy, quick read. Unlike 600 over there. We've got these books. I got this in a book advent calendar about 3 years ago, and this is Between Commitment and Betrayal, 1 Year of Fake Marriage, and Kisses Don't Lie. I've got the other books, Between Love and Loathing and Between Never and Forever, and I don't know anything about these books. I haven't read this book by Chloe Walsh in the Boys of Tommen series either, as well as Release in 10. I need breaks in between these series because heavy stuff happens and I cannot go boom, 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 one book after each other. There has to be a break because there is some very brutal stuff going on in there. Next book is Fair Catch by Candy Steiner, and this is another love and football book. This was a free book at Rare. This is called Love You Never by Jennifer Susevich, and this was a free book at Rare. That is a hockey romance book. And we have The Sweet Talker by Gina Azizi, and she also was at Rare, and this is a hockey romance book. If you can't already see, my pile on the floor is getting big. Right, last in my Ali Hazelwood books that I've not read yet is Love Theoretically, and I love Ali Hazelwood. She's potentially my favourite. She writes the funniest books. The girls in STEM as well, so I love it. Right, we've got, this was a book from Rare, signed, and this was a free book, and it's called No Romeo by Donna Alam. I don't know what it's about. I don't know. We have my LJ Shen books that I've not read, which is part of the Dark Prince Road series. This is My Dark Prince. I'm also making my way through LJ Shen's universe. We've got Scandalous, we've got Truly Madly Deeply, Wildest Dreams, Handsome Devil, and Bad Bishop is in the pile over there somewhere. We've got the first book in the North Shore series, not North Shore, what's it called? Silver Falls University. North Shore is a different book series I've got by Lola King, who again I met at Rare, and she signed this book for me. She was so nice. We've got this book that I got buy one get one half price. This was book 1, Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Jessinger. I don't know why I picked it up either, I've got no idea. The last two LJ Shen books, we've got Ruckus and Bad Bishop, both of which have obviously not been read, which is why they're on this list. Notice we are getting into our darker romances, but I missed out this one from my more fluffier romances, which is Hate Mail by Donna Marchetti. And this is when they are pen pals, then bitter rivals, and then lovers. Right, then we've got Crossroads by Daphne Perry. I haven't read any of her contemporary romance books, however I did obviously read, what is that book called? Rights of a Starling is coming out. Book 1 anyways, I read that by her, and I thought I'll try her other books. I've had these books for so long. This is Catherine Cowell's Sparrow Falls series, and they are like romantic mystery-ish, I think. So I've got this whole series to read. now we're getting into the darker romances. We've got older. Ooh. I did not know they were in here. Got some stickers by Team Sugar and Spice from Nashville. Keep Nashville spicy. Oh, that's nice. Oh, bookmark as well. This is my only Jennifer Hartman book, and I have not read any Jennifer Hartman, and my friend Sherry is very annoyed at me for not reading any Jennifer Hartman because she is Jennifer Hartman's biggest fan, and I promise I'm gonna read it, I promise. Okay, we've got the last, like, how many books? 10 maybe? Right, okay. We've got this book from my sister, Beautiful Bastard. I don't know why she had this book. She's not a fan of dark romance. Oh no, you're gonna fall. But that's by Christina Lauren. We have the Maid series. Don't ask me why I've not read this Mafia Romance book series yet, because everybody loves the MMC in this series. Not too sure which book he's in actually. Christian, this book here, oh yeah, I can see his name there. The Maddest Obsession. People love him. And we love a Mafia Romance book, even though they are so unrealistic. It's just nice to pretend. Okay, we've got Broken by Sadie Kincaid, and this is part of her Manhattan Ruthless series. I loved the character art in this from Rare, and the quality is just so nice. Very thick pages. The actual book itself is lovely to look at, so I picked it up basically based off that, and the fact that it was Mafia. And then we're finally finished. Right, we've got Pen Pal by J.T. Gessinger. She writes to him in prison. We've got these two books by Lee Rivers. I heard they are her most unhinged yet. Like literally seriously unhinged. Step Siblings. We have the entire Ravenhood series by Kate Stewart. Haven't read it. And then I've also got these two books before they became traditionally published, and this is kind of like Peaky Blinders Mafia vibes, I've heard. And I've got these two books by Alexis L. Menard, and I'm very much looking forward to reading these books. So there we have it, my absolutely massive, oh, I forgot these books, whoops, that's because they are sitting here underneath my setup. So we've got the Terms and Conditions, the Final Offer, and the Fine Print. The Dreamland Billionaire series by Lauren Asher. And I actually DNF'd this entire series because of how much I hated Twisted Love, but then I was kindly gifted this book off my friend on BookTok. So I'm going to continue with this series because apparently it gets really good, especially by book 4. So finally we made it. My 200 plus book haul and all of the books that are on my physical TBR. Can I tackle these books by the end of 2026? Fingers crossed. If you made it to this point in the video, it means that you made it to the end. So thank you so much for watching and supporting and just helping me with this silly little hobby of mine. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, let's interact and be friends, because this is a place where all book lovers are welcome. So thank you again, and I'll catch you guys later.